Hey, everybody. Happy Thursday. It is a special Thursday because it is the nights before Christmas. Y'all, get on up in the virtual room. Get on up on the couch. Y'all, come on in. Listen, you all know Thursdays are my most favorite day of the week. This Thursday is no different. It is absolutely no different. Making sure everyone is on up in here and getting in here. We have so much to talk about. But don't we always have a lot to talk about? Merry Christmas Eve, Damon. Everybody say what's up to my mom. She is on as always. Cameron Mingo, what's up? Merry Christmas Eve. Mike Lyles, what's up? Now, is everybody, listen, first of all, let's just hop right to it. There's some things that we need to talk about. We got some housekeeping items, right? If y'all can see, listen, your girl was in here rushing around. I have my Christmas sweater. I promise y'all. It's on the back of my chair. But I was wearing it, and it's got a whole bunch of everything on it, right? This is my Christmas sweater. And y'all, listen, I have all intentions on wearing this sweater the whole show with the hood and everything, y'all. But it's hot. All right? It was hot as I don't know what. I was like, oh yeah, no. No, ma'am. I can't wear that sweater unless everybody want to see CWall passed out on camera. It was hot. And probably because I was running around the house and doing things, getting ready for the virtual conversation with my folks, y'all. And I was like, my sister Joy, she know. We be getting ready for the show and everything. But I was like, it's hot. And that's why I'm still looking a little hot. Trust me, y'all, got warm. Even though the rain in the DMV, I don't know about where you all are, but in the DMV, it was pouring down rain this evening. So if anybody is out doing any last minute shopping, running errands, please be safe. Please be safe. But it is Merry Christmas Eve. I see my cousin Shanae is on. I see my brother Dervin is on. Security. Dervin is up in here ready to talk. DMV Sports. Who did I miss? Did I miss anybody? I feel like I started missing folks because it was so much going on at one time. Are you all sharing the show with your DC Sports loving family and friends? Because we need to make sure. It's always great to watch the show later, and we know that a lot of our folks do, but it's also awesome to watch the show live so we can all get our opinions out, what we need to say, what we want to talk about, all of those great and wonderful things. Now, I did ask everybody, who's wearing their Christmas sweater? Is anybody find your favorite? If you don't have on your Christmas sweater while watching this, make sure you are dropping your selfies in your Christmas gear. Don't forget, in your Christmas gear, happy holiday gear. And are you drinking anything? I said bring your Christmas selfies and your favorite holiday beverage. So make sure you all are dropping those selfies in the chat. Make sure you're dropping your favorite holiday beverage. And we're going to jump right on into DC Sports Talk. Are you guys ready? Are you all ready? 'Twas the night before Christmas, and the CWall family still got together virtually to talk their favorite DC sports. So, okay, because I do have my favorite holiday beverage here. Because I told you all I did bring my Christmas sweater, and I did bring Cameron's drinking a Pepsi. My mother used to love Pepsis. So that's all well and good. All well and good. first things first, we got to start. I'm going to start with the Nats. The Washington Nationals did have some news today. They acquired first baseman Josh Bell from the Pittsburgh Pirates. I thought it was a great trade. They traded for two of their pitchers, meaning the Nats traded two of their pitchers to the Pirates, and it wasn't a lot. Now, I know based on what was on the position, right? So based on the position, now folks are asking about, what about Ryan Zimmerman? And the thing of it is this: just because they signed on a new first baseman in Josh Bell, and I have to make the Josh joke. We got another Josh in town, y'all. So they have Josh Bell as another first baseman. It doesn't necessarily mean that Ryan Zimmerman is out of the picture. We know that Ryan Zimmerman is low cost. We know that he's still a very skilled defender. We also know that Ryan Zimmerman has already shared, and it's been reported that he would be open to playing on one-year deals for the rest of his career. But he wanted to retire a Washington National. So I think this was another addition. I don't see it as an issue. I did want to read a quote from Nats president of baseball operations and general manager Mike Rizzo. He said, "We are thrilled to be adding a player of Josh Bell's caliber to the team. He adds a switch hitting power bat to our lineup, and we know Josh will be an outstanding addition to our clubhouse and our community." So we all have to say what's up to Josh. Welcome to DC. We're happy to have him. Again, as Cameron shared, I think it's a nice addition. I don't think it hurts anything. We do have to think about life after Ryan Zimmerman and others, as the team is attempting to get younger. So I think it was a great move. So kudos to the Nats. Big news today. Also big news from a former Washington National, Howie Kendrick. We want to shout out Howie Kendrick on his retirement. Thank you for everything, Howie. You are awesome. We will never forget you. So kudos and happy retirement to you. Now, moving on to the Wizards. We got to get to the Wizards, y'all. We have to get to the Wizards. Where are all the Wizards fans? Wizards fans, check in. I need a love tap, fire emoji or something. Washington Wizards fans, please check in. Check in right now. The season opener was just last night. What do you all think? Hey, look. I have a lot of initial thoughts that I'm not at all kind of like, it's the first game. So definitely want to talk through you all's thoughts on what you saw. First game out the gate. I want you all to share some of your thoughts below. And while you're sharing, I'll start to share in terms of what I'm seeing from the Wizards so far. A recurring word that you all will continue to hear about this Wizards team is energy. You will keep hearing the word energy. You will keep hearing the word intensity. Those two words will continuously be used, and I believe they will be used so frequently because of the addition of Russell Westbrook. I asked the question on my social media pages about if folks thought the team was better with Westbrook. And my answer is I believe they are. There's just some intangibles on top of the tangible things that they need to get better. I think the intangibles count as well. And he brings another word you will hear is accountability. And I think that's huge as well. So you're going to hear energy, you're going to hear intensity, you're going to hear accountability throughout. Because those are the things that Russell Westbrook brings. He brings energy, intensity, and accountability. One thing that I appreciated so much with his presser, his post-game presser last night, was that he immediately shared. I mean, he totally, hey, look, first Wizards player to ever attain a triple-double in his Wizards debut. And he glossed all over that, right? I mean, the thing of it is this. Russell Westbrook is only behind the great Oscar Robertson when it comes to triple-doubles, okay? So he gets triple-doubles. He gets them. But the thing of it is they lost the game. So I could appreciate his disappointment in himself. And he was very vocal about that he was disappointed because he himself had opportunities that could have put the team in a different position. The team overall had like 20 turnovers. Y'all know it's hard to win a game with 20 turnovers. But I appreciate it so much that Westbrook was able to identify himself before anybody else. He wasn't even talking about anybody else. He wasn't talking about his triple-double. He wasn't talking about any of that. He immediately expressed his disappointment in his own play and where he could have done things better, and was able to articulate which plays in which he could have done something differently that would have changed the outcome of that play. That's accountability. That's awesome. That's something that the young guys can learn from and continue to get better, because that's all we want to see. You want to see the improvement. You want to see things get better, and I think that they are. Here's another thing that I noticed about last night. There's still much to be excited about. I think it was the first game, so you still have to level your expectations for sure, because it was game one. But at the same token, hey, look, let's all be honest. Can we all be honest real quick about something? Because I want to be honest about something. We saw this movie last year, right? We saw the movie of the Wizards would be playing pretty well, and in the fourth quarter, oh, you know what breaks loose. In the final moments of the game, we see breakdowns on both ends of the floor. I'm going to tell you what I believe lost that game last night. And yes, it's game one. I get that. But I'm going to tell you something. And here's why I feel like I need to address this and say this out loud. Is because we saw it. We've seen it before. Scott Brooks got outcoached. I really believe that. I really believe Scott Brooks got outcoached last night. That's what lost that basketball game. And it was a winnable game. But again, seeing the same breakdowns on offense and defense, seeing the team just let it go a bit. Why get these leads and not be able to attain them? So that's the challenge that I already see, that I'm like, okay, we've seen this before. We've seen the fourth quarter breakdown. And that can't happen again. I'm going to tell you what I appreciate, though, with Scott Brooks's presser in the post game. His post game presser, he made the comment of no moral victories. No moral victories. And I said, you know what? That's a Russell Westbrook. That's a Russell Westbrook thought process. Because everybody would be all into, they play hard, they fall hard, it's improvements, and there are improvements. But to hear Scott Brooks say in game one of the season, and the season is so long, for him to say there are no moral victories, I said, he knows. He's got a different mindset too. And I can appreciate that, because there are no moral victories. Somebody else is going to have to be the attacker in the closer, whether it's Bill, whether it's Westbrook, whether it's Davis Bertans, because Davis got hot last night, didn't he? And we'll continue to see him get hot. That's why they gave him that money. But I'm going to continue to say for last night, I think it was just a matter of coaching. Scott Brooks got outcoached. Because I don't think the Sixers played that good of a game. Clearly they didn't. But hey, look, a long season. We know 20 turnovers is cannot happen if you want to win a basketball game. We saw them play some defense. And I feel like we haven't seen them play defense in years. So, hey, look, things are improving, but no moral victories. So, hey, I'm looking to see improvements throughout the game, not just for 3 quarters. You got to finish. You got to close. And I don't like watching the same movie over and over again. So hopefully this isn't some more of the same this year. I saw a lot of comments about Thomas Bryant and whether or not he's the answer in some places. I'm not sure why Thomas Bryant took that 3 at the end of the game. I don't want to believe that the play was drawn up for him to take that 3. I don't know if in his mind he thought he was going to be a hero, and that's why he took that 3. I'm not real sure, but it was a bad idea. Whoever's decision that was, whether the play was drawn up that way or Brian said, I'm going to take the shot, but I don't want to see that again. So, hey, I will stick to my guns on player-wise. This team is good. They're good. I do believe they are better than they were previously. But Scott Brooks got outcoached. That's all. Doc Rivers outcoached him in the end. So we'll see what happens. Long season, y'all. Long season. They play the Orlando Magic this weekend. They play Orlando on Saturday and Sunday. They got the Bulls next Tuesday and Thursday, I believe. So I think I'm going to have to compete with the Wizards a little bit for the show, because we are going to do a New Year's Eve show. All right, and maybe the sweater that I wear next week won't be as hot as the one I was going to wear this week. But at any rate, more to come. But I hope Wizards fans were at least encouraged by what they saw last night. Didn't come up with the W, but there was definitely enough to be optimistic about, of course, with everyone staying healthy. Of course, let me say this about everyone staying healthy. I saw some comments about Rui. And folks thinking Rui's in the game, totally different outcome. And I agree. Rui is missed. He is an asset, and I'm looking forward to seeing how he's improved this year. Want to say something? I've been telling you all this for a while now. I really like Denny. I like Denny a lot. And if you guys ever check out any of his post-game pressers, please do. He's hilarious. He is so funny to me. I don't know what it is. It's just, he's just so authentic, and he's just trying to play basketball and trying to win and be an asset to his teammates and just do his thing. And I appreciate that. He's not one for all the little crazy questions. He not one for all the questions. So it's really funny at times, because he's just being himself. But he's a dog out there. So I'm anxious to see how he continues to improve his play as he continues to learn and grow. And it's a good mix. But Scott Brooks, my eyes on you. Scott Brooks, if you're listening, I'm watching you. I really am. My eyes are on you now. Nice man. But I was like, are we going to do this again, Scott? This how we starting off the season? Okay. Up next, you all know what is up next. It is the Washington football team. Washington football team fans, do me a favor and check in. I need a love button, or what do you call them, the love tap, or a fire emoji, all of those things. Come on, Washington football team fans. Come on. You all know we're going to talk about Haskins. We're going to absolutely talk about Haskins. But before we get there, because it's only right to first talk about the Seattle game. Got to talk about the Seattle game first. Got to talk about the Seattle game first, because that's the right thing to do, because that's where we started out in the week, is with the Washington football team Losing to Seattle. Now we're going to start off with our one word game. Our one word game. What's one word to describe how you felt about the Washington-Seattle game? Definitely want to hear how you felt. So go ahead and check in. Let us know how you felt about that. Let us know. Come on. Share. I need your one word. And I'm going to wait a minute so I can see everybody's one word, because I think this is important. So Damon said he was disappointed. And I want to know, Damon, feel free to share please feel free to share in the chat and in the comments why you were disappointed. Wallace was disappointed as well. I really want to hear why why Damon, Wallace, others, disappointed. My godmother, everyone say hello to her. That Julia Tarpley is my godmother and my aunt, everybody. So say hello to her. She says, almost. Joy said, unbelievable. Cameron sighed. Wallace, also encouraged. So Wallace was disappointed, but also encouraged. Let me say this. This was not a game that, of course, I had on my calendar as we're going to win that one. Even coming into that game, while I had good expectations, I knew also that to expect the level of play that we get out of the defense every week, like what we saw against the 49ers, it's just not feasible for them to play at that level every single week, right? So it wasn't a game that I said they're going to win, because here's the thing. Seattle's got a good offense. Russell Wilson is pretty daggone good. So what we need to do is shout out the defense for holding a Russell Wilson-led offense to 20 points. That was pretty good, in my opinion. That was good from the defensive perspective. We can't expect the defense to have a game like they had against the 49ers. But 20 points, because see, Seattle can normally score 30 plus. That's nothing for Russell Wilson. That's nothing for a Russell Wilson-led offense. So for the defense to hold them down to 20 was good. There was some mistakes, right, on the defensive side of the ball. We had some unnecessary penalties that hurt, a botched missed tackles on Russell Wilson's 38-yard run. So I kind of knew. But to hold them to 20 points, in my opinion, wasn't bad. It was almost, I felt like this was going to be one of those games that I always get fearful of, meaning last week with Seattle, because you don't want to get in a shootout. You don't want to have to get in an offensive battle because our offense struggles. We all know this. Our offense struggles. So I didn't want them to have to get in a position where now they got to go toe to toe on the offense, because this thing ain't gonna work out. It's just not. We've been disappointed by the offense before, right? And we just know that it's hard. It's hard to score, and this offense is just a struggle. So while the defense held them to 20, I think Dustin Hopkins makes that field goal or makes that extra point. We get down, because Dwayne Haskins did get them down the field far enough where potentially they could have kicked the field goal, tie the game, going to overtime, right? That's not what happened. Because what happened? There was a breakdown on offense. So it wasn't a game. It was a game that I felt, my one word is expected. Because I said, well, hey, I knew the defense was going to hold up as much as they possibly could, but it's so hard to stay held up when you're on the field the whole first half. Slow starts continue to be an Achilles heel for this offense. We saw where that second half comeback, it's not going to work every week. It didn't work last week because it was potentially a different start, could have saw a different outcome. Dustin Hopkins gets his extra points, you see a different outcome. All of those things matter when you're playing 60 whole minutes. And so my one word was expected. I was like, well, and to the point of others in the chat, you're dealing with a backup quarterback, no Antonio Gibson. We already know that Terry McLaurin has had a lingering ankle injury for the past few weeks. We've always known that we never really had a wide receiver number 2. So, hey, you lose by 5 points, that's not so bad. But we're going to keep with the line of no moral victories. And at the end of the day, you lost. So, my thinking is still this. The defense is being a powerhouse. And we love everything that they're doing. The offense at some point has got to give just a bit more. Then we're dealing with a lot. We're dealing with some great stuff here with this team, and they're growing. And here's the thing. Here's the thing that is always so interesting to me. Even with the players that the team currently has, Ron Rivera still very much believes that this team is the better team on the field. He still very much believes that there are a few games that this team should have won. And when you go back and you watch the film and you go back and you really think about it, you can watch a TV film. You don't even have to watch the all 22. You can go back and you can absolutely see in quite a few games. I can call out 3. Last week was one of them where you could see where, you know what? Washington could have came out with that game. Absolutely came out with that game. Despite all the mistakes, they still could have potentially had an opportunity to win. We know for sure the Giants game, we know for sure the Lions game, and we know last week there was still an opportunity there. Now, am I upset because that opportunity didn't present itself? No, because I didn't expect a W last week. But at the same token, when you're watching the game, you're like, hey, they still within reach. And that's good to say. Again, coached by Pete Carroll. Pete Carroll is amazing. Russell Wilson is dynamic, and he has a dynamic offense. I think I was talking to a friend of mine. They have about 3 receivers that went in the first couple of rounds. So you can't. They got high drafts in their receiver core. So, hey, look, it is what it is. You're not going to win them all. But it does put the team in a different kind of position going into this week. I see Cowboys fans getting excited like, oh, we can potentially still win the division if the Washington football team doesn't win. But we're not even going to talk about that. We're going to all hope to say that the Giants lose. And I'm going to go back to this too, because Ron Rivera said something about this in the press conference. You never want to have to wait for somebody else to do your job. So if we go back to the other conversation I was just having about the games that could have been won, when you look at those games, you're like, hey, listen, some of those games, hey, look, you 8 wins in, that's enough to win the division now and be the NFC East champions. But that's not how it went down. Hindsight is always 20/20. But I just say, here we are coming up on this week in a must-win game. This week is a must-win game against Ron Rivera's former team. Not only does Washington need to win, we have to bank on the Ravens beating the Giants, right? And so we already know that this is all intense. And I want to ask you guys, because before the show, I published one of Sherrod's articles on the Dwayne Haskins situation. And I want to know, when you all first saw the pictures of Dwayne Haskins out, what was your first thought? I'm really anxious. I really want to know what you all's first thought was when you first saw the picture, before anything was confirmed that it was him or anything of the sort. What did you all think when you saw that picture? What did you all think? Because I'm going to tell you something. I always tell Washington fans, you deserve to be happy, right? You deserve to be happy. When they win, be happy. Don't let these fans of other teams make you feel like you can't cheer and you can't be happy when your team got 6 wins. You can absolutely be happy. In the same respect, when something happens that is just dumb, right? You have every right to be angry. Many of you have already commented and have shared comments. Like Joy said, young and dumb. Cameron said, what are you doing? Mike said, he can't be that dumb. Damon said, I wanted him cut. Hey, listen, I'm going to just be, I was with Damon. Oh, yeah, he got to go. He's got to go. And let me say this. All of the conversations up until this point were bringing up every excuse as to what the organization and what the coaching staff was doing wrong. Do we even really need to know why he got benched? Because we all know that there's a story behind that, right? Do we all really need to know? Because I feel like at this point, now we've seen enough to know that being a leader and what being a leader requires at this time, Dwayne Haskins ain't it. I'm not saying he can't be in the team, even though when I first found out, I wanted him cut too, Damon. I was with you. But even if I sit back and take a look and really get into everything that's going on, and you sit back now, you sit back and you say all the excuses that were made about helping him mature and grow. You can't help somebody that doesn't want to help themselves. So this picture comes out. It's confirmed that it's him. It is so much about, whose idea it was. In the presser yesterday, Dwayne shared that it was his girlfriend's birthday. So I just immediately tuned out, because my thing is this: if it was your girlfriend's birthday, that means it was premeditated. You knew you were going out after that game. You knew you was about to hang out. You knew exactly what you were about to do. And you did it anyway. Hey, listen, I'm sure it's we're not even playing, y'all. But in this here age of COVID-19 and this pandemic, I bet you there's so many of us who are missing our family and our friends right now. We don't see them for birthdays. We don't get together for holidays. That's just a chance. That's just something you got to do. Why? To stay safe. And because you care about other people. What he did was so selfish. I said, that's some selfish crap right there, man. Ooh. And I'm holding on to dear life right now, y'all, because I said I wasn't going to go off on the show. I said I wasn't. I said I was going to hold it together. And I'm going to keep trying to hold it together, because every time I think about it, I say to myself, so you had a planned little birthday party. Y'all want to give your little girlfriend a birthday party. Okay. No, that was dumb. You're stupid. Anybody who would like him to be the leader of this team, please stop. Please stop. He does not have the mental capacity to lead a professional football team. No. The answer is no. He has proved to everybody that he can't do it and that he shouldn't do it. You know what I mean? That is what you do. And everybody give a shout out to Tina Moore. Tina has shared with me that she had tested positive for COVID, and I have been checking in on her. So we're sending her blessings right now and all of God's healing power. She's over it. It's behind her. But to her point, we have a real life example of a person that said, hey, I stood in my house. I stayed in my house for 4 weeks because you do not want to harm anybody else. For a birthday party. A birthday party? A birthday party? That's what we're talking about, a birthday party? When you on the brink, let me tell y'all something. It was another thing that really made me mad. This team is this close, like this. Like the distance between me and this cup right here. That close to being the division winners. Who would have thought that? Seriously, who would have thought that in everything, in all things that has happened? Who would have thought that? Okay? Who would have thought that? And what does Dwayne Haskins go and do? After a loss, you have another chance to prove yourself. And here's the thing. Dwayne did the best that he could on Sunday. I wasn't even mad at Dwayne. Did he make some questionable decisions in the first in the first half? Absolutely. But he got it together. He got in a rhythm. He was making better choices. And it was all good. It was better. It was gotten better. And still put the team within reach as the backup quarterback. I said, okay. But now we all know there should be no other questions as to why he got benched at the beginning of this season. Now we all know they wasn't just talking. It wasn't that Ron Rivera doesn't like Dwayne and everybody's against him and it's the same old song and dance in DC. No, it's not that. He's immature. He's immature. He's not equipped yet to lead a group of people to anything, as far as I'm concerned. You can't lead me down the street, Dwayne. I don't trust you. Where were you last night? Where were you? That's what I'm kind of talking about. No more questions about can he lead. And guess what else? If this team is in a situation, because can he lead? No. But at this point, now they need him. Alex is hurt. We know Kyle Allen not coming back. We got two other people in that position in the team, and the division is right here, this close, and you go and do something like that. All I'm saying is this: if he plays this week, he better have a perfect game. And listen. That could sound very unfair, but what he did to his teammates, to his coaching staff that believes in him. Let me tell y'all something. Y'all think somebody got something against Dwayne Haskins? No. Ron Rivera, he would have been off my team. But that's why Ron Rivera is the head coach of the Washington football team, and I am not. Because he would have got out of my office, okay? But now they need him. Because you've put your team in an unfair position. You've put everybody that believes in you and cares about you, including this fan base. I've gone back and forth with people on this chat about Dwayne Haskins. And now look, now he has to ball like his career depends on it. You know why? Because it does. The reality wasn't nobody calling for Dwayne Haskins before that trade deadline. Wasn't nobody checking for him. Okay? Ron kept him because he wanted to keep him. And plus, wasn't nobody checking for him. So you have an opportunity here. No more dumb mistakes. Why? You got teammates, you got teammates and a whole fan base that loves you. And when people get angry and mad with you, it's because you're being dumb and you're being stupid and you should know better. That's why. Tough love is hard. And tough love is even more hard than that. But look, man, we're right here. Right here. Opportunity of a lifetime. Now you're in a position where if you play, you have to win this game. They got to win now. Ain't no way. They lose. Let me tell y'all something. If the Washington football team loses this game on Sunday and jeopardizes their opportunity to win the division, this organization will never hear the end of it. Haskins will never hear the end of it, because they will say that that loss is because of him. The distraction all week, having to do all of this all week long. That's what they're going to say. That is what they're going to say. And would it be true? Yes, it would. Now they got to win. I don't even know. I mean, hey, y'all, let's do bold predictions. Let's do bold predictions. It better be out of this world. How many yards Dwayne Haskins going to throw for? Because if he has to play, listen, the game of his life is what he better have. Seriously, no excuses. I don't want to hear nothing. I won't even say it about Scott Turner and this and that. I don't care. I don't care who dropped the football. If he has to be at the quarterback, he better run him in himself. If ain't nobody open, you better go for it, buddy. Because this is we can't live like this. We can't live like that. This fan base has been through too much. And we need something to be happy about and be proud of. And he's coming real close to letting us all down. There we go. Here we go. Dwayne goes for 300 plus. He better. All of these better come true, y'all. Let me get a love tap or a fire emoji, because all I'm saying is they just better win. I'm sorry. Yes, Tina. I look. I try not to get upset, but that made me mad, sister. That made me, 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. I don't care. Go for 4. Something. The defense, let me tell you something. The defense is going to come out blazing. I do believe that. Blazing. That's for sure. We're going to definitely get a good 14 points out of the defense. For sure. They better win and be division champions. Logan Thomas. Well, if Logan Thomas has to take over as the quarterback, then I don't know what's going to happen. And that's the other thing. It's like Ron Rivera got frustrated with the questions about Dwayne, and I get it. Because it's frustrating. He's disappointed. He's upset. He's angry. He's, so I understand all of those things. I get it. I wholeheartedly understand, because he believes in them. So many folks publicly, for some reason, think Ron Rivera got something against this kid, and Ron is the one who wants this to work. So at this point, he's making Ron look like a fool. Seriously. He's making Ron look crazy. Like, Ron, what are you doing? W. On Sunday. Y'all did y'all update your calendars? 4 o'clock. 4 or 5 p.m. start on Sunday. Come out of that thing, the division champions. Please. Whew. Because I'm like, oh, goodness gracious. And Wallace is exactly right. The Panthers are not that good of a team. They should absolutely win anyway. In my opinion, if none of this had happened, I would project, yes, the Washington football team is going to win. But for certain, now, they better beat them 42-3, as far as I'm concerned. All offense. Although I do believe I'm going to stick to, 14 points out of defense, at least. At the very least. Happy holidays, y'all. Seriously. That Dwayne Haskins situation took me out. On Monday, let me take y'all back through the beginning of my week. Because when everything went down, of course, on Monday, the pictures came out. It was confirmed from a media perspective that it was, in fact, him. And so, at that point, I'm going to tell y'all, in media, you have the opportunity. You could do a couple things. You could blast it and you could share it yourself. Hey, everybody. But the type of person I am and where I am, because here's the thing. I have a business. This is a business, but I'm also a fan. And I also care about you guys. And my thing is this, I know too many people that are advocates for Haskins. So for me, I was like, you know what? I'm going to let this thing roll out, and it's going to go public. When it goes public, I'm not going to tell everybody it was him and he was out here and he's tripping and I'm pissed, because it's not fair. Because then at that point, now I'm going to let my emotions get in it. But I'm going to wait until it becomes public, and then I'm going to share some of my emotion, because I always tell you all, whenever something big happens in this town, one thing I come on this show and I tell you all is this: I feel you. I feel you. I hear you. And I agree with you. And that's why I tell you, be happy. But this time, you ought to be piping hot mad. And everybody better be like singing Hail to the Washington football team at about 7:30 p.m. on Sunday, because they're going to be victorious. That's all I'm saying. Because this is a lot for no good reason. We're not going out like this over a birthday party. We're not going down like that, y'all. Anyway, listen, let me tell you something. Demond, that's why I didn't even listen. I felt it in my spirit that I was going to end up going on a rant about this Haskins situation. So I already knew, let me keep this sweater off, because that ain't going to work out for me. But anyway, y'all, seriously, happy holidays. Please stay safe. Stay safe, stay safe. Enjoy your families. I know many of you all are getting ready for Santa Claus. You're getting all set up and everything. So you all have an amazing time. Wear your mask, social distance, all those things. I know this year is like none other that we've ever seen before. But, you know, we all have love, and we can still share that love virtually, and still try to focus on what we do have versus what we don't have. So, Merry Christmas. As my mom says, Merry Christmas with love, you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. And thank you again for ranting with me. Your girl had to get that out. Anyway, see you guys next week when it's New Year's Eve, because we're definitely doing a show on New Year's Eve. Okay? So see you guys next week.